Hello, hello. Hi, it's Junkie Miss Nan. And I am here with my retro journal. Nice to have you guys back and welcome to those who are new. And the purpose of this video is to focus mainly on decorating the cover of the book. I have a little tip that I'm going to show you on something that I've created for the inside of the book. But for now, the focus is the cover. And junk journals have evolved in so many ways, from the simplest to the most elaborate and complicated books. My cover, I'm not looking for something super complicated, so I'm not actually going to go through every little process in what I made for the cover. With that said, this is my retro, so it's a simple book. It's made of chipboard, and if I remember correctly, it's 9 by 6. Your journals can be as simple or as complicated or as you wish they would be. So this would be something like more little subtle in color, and this is one of those books that I like to make out of the library books. And this is the inside. If you're a seller, some people will ask for specifics, and so you're creating a book that's specifically made for that person. So I just wanted to show you how subtle this one looks and the pieces that I've used for that one. This is my cover, made of chipboard, very flexible. It has 3 signatures in it. And I told myself that I was gonna try very hard not to create an alligator mouth, but I do have some stuff in here already, which I'll be showing at a later video. And I don't wanna go into all the pages of the book at the moment because there are things that I create in there that I like to create with you. But it's 3 signatures and this book is already up to here. So I don't think it's gonna be an alligator mouth. I have a feeling, based on some of the thick things that I'm going to put in here. So I basically picked buttons, arranged them on the cover in any manner or fashion that I really wanted to put them in. And I rearranged it, and basically what I did was, since it was after the fact, after putting the signatures in, I just lifted up the thread with my awl so that I could stick my needle and thread in there, so that my needle will go in pretty straight and through to the other side. And I sewed them in first, but the buttons were movable. So what I did is, once I sewed them in, I moved them where I wanted to, and I put glue underneath so they won't move. They're all in there permanently. I wanted something specific for the cover that reminded me of the 70s and 80s. There might be stuff in there that's not actually 70s, 80s, might be 40s, 50s, 60s, or maybe 90s. But I'm calling it retro because for me, retro would be a lot of color. That's what I remember, a lot of color. What I did was, I grabbed an old jean and I cut it up and I made a strip. I took the pant leg, cut it to the size that I wanted, folded it over, sewed that portion, bent it. I did no ironing. I just bent it. And then what I did was, I put bandana on top by folding the bandana. I folded it first. These are some pieces that are left over. I took the bandana and I folded it first as if I were making a ruffle, sewed it, put a little glue on there to hold it together before I sewed it so it wouldn't come apart. And that's what I put on the top layer. The next bandana I left flat, and these are some of the colors that are in the book. I laid it flat. I sewed the edges so that they wouldn't have that rough edge there. Sewed the edges in on both sides and then put that one under there. And then the jean pant leg piece, I gave it a zigzag on the edges and I put it there. And then again, put another piece of a bandana on the bottom. So that's what's going to lay here on my cover. So before I go any further, I'm going to go ahead and glue it down. So I have, so I can get this off. I do have some Aliens glue, tacky glue. I'm going to use that today. And I'm just going to put some on this corner. And let's see if I can do this video without having to edit one portion of it. I hope you're all doing well, taking care of yourselves. So this is what I'm going to do on this side. I'm not going to glue in the hole. And I'm not going to take it all the way to the edge because I was a little short. When I fold the book, one side comes in more than the other. So I'm just going to leave that there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a paper clip on that side to hold it in place. And I didn't want to go all the way to the bottom because I still want some of the cover to show. Let me see if I can get that on there. Okay, that's going to hold it in place so it doesn't move. Wait a minute, I have something down there that I don't want you to see because I'm going to open up my book in a minute to show you something else, that tip that I have. So that's going to hold it in place there. I have the choice to glue the whole thing if I choose to. I'm not going to glue the bottom just yet, so it'll be in a belly band form just for now. Later on, once this is dried and it's adjusted to the book, opening and closing it, I'm probably going to add glue in this section too underneath to hold this portion in place too. But for now, it'll be like in a belly band form. Whatever you put in it can go through. This is just temporary. So what I'm going to do is now, before I go to the other side, these are these little, I don't even know what they're called. Whether they're not polymer clay, they're plastic. And it's a little package that I got at Walmart. So I got the idea to add it on there because we know that in the 60s and 70s there was a lot of butterfly flowers, happy faces, and all that good stuff, rainbows. So I'm going to hold it here. I'm going to bend that book closed. Now it won't move on the other side, but what I wanted it to do was to reach the corner here so that I can glue that side. So let's go ahead and put some glue on that side. And as you can see, I'm short here. I was short. I didn't even measure, so that's what you get for not measuring, Nancy. I'm going to put some glue right here, and then I'm going to put that there. And then I will put a clip there to hold that side. Where's my other clip? Here we go. And most likely I'm going to use this clip for something on this book on the cover. So I will lay that clip. Let's see. Let me make sure I'm grabbing what I need to grab underneath. Right here, so that it stays there for the moment. So if I open the book, it will stretch with the book. Oh, I'm loving this. I really am loving this. This book has a lot of color in it. It's something, I'm out of the box with this. I'm going to have to put the flowers down that I created, because these flowers, the purpose why I created them was because I was short here on this corner. So I made my raggedy flowers, what I call my raggedy flowers. These are my raggedy flowers. I made several of them, different colors from the material I used on the book, which I had purchased that in Puerto Rico, brought them from Puerto Rico with me, and some of the bandanas. This is my frame of thought. I am going to put, so that I covered this here, I'm going to lay down, I have to arrange the flowers in the manner that I want them so that it will cover this. But I like the design. Not so much to cover that, but I like the way they look on the book. I didn't do it necessarily because of that. I'm saying I did, but it's not necessarily because of that. And then I'm going to put this one here. And then I was thinking of putting the pink one there, but I'm not sure yet because that's going to make it bulky. So let me lay the pink one down first. I'm going to add, and I did a zigzag stitch on this. On the front, no order, no reason, no rhyme, just took the machine and held it together. I usually put glue on each layer that I go around, but look, it works perfectly fine just sewing it together. So what I'm going to do is, I am going to lay this one here, and then, whoops, and then I'll put this one here, and so the last one will go, and there's thread everywhere. I'm not even worried about that, my friends. I love all this threading. So I might have to pull this up a little bit so this one sits flat on the edge here. Okay, and that overnight will be permanent on there. If I need to add a little bit more glue around it, I shall. But for the moment, that's how I'm going to press a little bit on that. Because when I open the book to show you my tip, I don't want anything to fall out. And then I decided to put this one. As you can see, my machine is a mess. I need a new machine. It's bulking here, and I'm sure there's just some adjustment that I have to make to the, I forget what it's called. It's the, I forget what it's called. I'm not even going to attempt to try to say it. And how tight the thread comes out. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, those that sew. So I'm going to put this here. I wanted it to look like a ribbon just hanging over the side. Press just a little bit on that to hold it in place. So far, I'm liking the look of this retro journal. And if you want, you can, I thought I could add more buttons here, which would make it look really nice, but it's just getting a little overly loud for me. And then just add buttons in between, and I guess you can add whatever you want. So let's see, they should stay on there for now like that until tomorrow when they'll be permanently dry. And then I don't know if I wanted to put the pink one on the top. Let me look at it first. It looks nice. It does look nice. I'm gonna add it there. It's not gonna hurt. It's not gonna hurt to add an extra raggedy flower there. And then I can take more glue and just adjust, move a little bit if I want to. But you have to do that while the glue is wet. Once it's dry, too hard to do that. I'm okay with all this mess with the uneven sewing. I am not worried about any of that. Let me add a little bit more glue in the corners. Here we go. Okay. Then I'll bring that back down. Okay. Now, to fill this pocket in, which was my intent when I first started creating the cover, I want a pocket that I can add things into it, but I didn't want it to be a paper pocket. I really did want it to be material on there. So, and the bandanas were because when I was younger, I loved wearing bandanas. This was an old card that I had. I don't know if someone gave it to my son, and I have cards that I've kept that others have given to my sons when they were little. So this is one that I wanted to add in there. So I'm going to try to do, I have this here, so I'm going to try to push it in just a little bit. And it will come through for now, but I'm okay with that. I have to wait until this dries so that I can add more glue on the bottom. I don't want to do it right now. And then I have this, which I thrifted. Please present at interest special. It can be written on. It's a Hallmark card. And it says free door prize. I just thought it was cute because it had the coupon thingy on there. So I'm going to add that in the back. And then what I thought was, at that period of time, my sister and I did a lot of singing. It brought back memories. We like to sing a lot to the music from that time. So I thought, wouldn't it be nice if I found these in my stash. These are empty. And I thought this would be great to represent like a CD record in there. But I wasn't satisfied with that. I thought to myself, I have to be able to find an actual record somewhere. So I decided to go last week to the antique mall. I actually did find a booth where everything was being sold for $2.22, and I happened to find some records. This one's The Seasons in the Sun. I don't know what year that came out, but I remember the song. One of the ones we used to sing. So this one's not going to go in the book. It does not fit, but I came up with an idea. I could have copied the cover if I wanted to and then added a cardboard copy of it in it. But no, I actually got two. And this one was completely torn on the bottom. It was broken, had no price on it, but I took it to the register and asked the young lady there if I could still purchase it. And they said yes, and they were each $1. It was $1. So what I did was I thought to myself, I need to be able to cut this down so it fits in there. So I took a regular sharp scissor. I have one that's very thick that will cut through anything. And I thought, what if I cut through it and I just end up cracking the whole thing? I went for it and I managed to cut it down. And after I cut it down, I took a sandpaper and sanded the edges. So it may not be even, but it works because it does fit in there. So I managed to cut it down and it fits perfectly in there. So once I put the Snoopy in there and this in there, I found another little card that I like that pertains to the stories of the Little Golden Books, Daydream. It's a postcard, comes in a book, and I decided to add that one back there because you can see her through the 45. So And then Snoopy can go back there. If I choose, I mean, you can play with your books because after you create them, there comes a time where you might want something different. But I thought this came out so lovely. Gotta pull that down just a little bit because it looks kind of crooked. No, now it's straight. It looks so lovely. So that's pretty much what I have for my cover. Simple, basic, looks great. I mean, beautiful details. Looking at it, I'm reminded of that time and era in my life. My buttons are still, and if I want to, I can also add something back here. Maybe take one of those cards and add it to the back. But now what I'm going to show you is, let me see where I put the paper clip. Okay, because I don't want you to see what's inside. I got something else, some other stuff to do with you guys. You can see this. These are the tabs. I use some of that same jean material to create the tabs. For a very long time, I study at my kitchen table when I have coffee. I study my lessons at my kitchen table. Let me see if there's one in here. No, this is the older one, I think. Yeah, this is the older one. So this one I started in. Let me see, when did I start in this one? I started in, let me see if I can find a date here. But you got a glimpse of the inside. 2024. 2 years ago. So I've been adding all the little stickers that come on veggies and fruits. How retro is that, my friends? Front, back. I have labels from all kinds of things. So I decided I was going to work on the inside also. And I worked on this side also. So this one's completely finished. I have a second one that I am working on. I wanted to incorporate this into this book. So what I did was I actually made a print of that. And I made a, what do you call it? A flip out? A flip out. And you can write on it. Look at this. Beautiful. Let me see, can you see that? Let me pull it down just a little bit. I'm sorry if I got louder because I stood up. There it is. My printer does not print like this. This I got done at the main library. So this is going to go into one of the envelopes that I made in the book. And you can write on the other side. I guess you can make it double-sided if you choose to, but I did not because I want to be able to write in it. So that's gonna go somewhere in one of the envelopes in the book. But I thought this was amazing. So you can pretty much create some really neat things to put in your own books. That is all I have for my cover, and I'm sorry for the glare. I just noticed there's a glare. Sorry about that. Simple, easy. So that's pretty much what I have for today. I thank you for joining me. God bless you. Hope to see you in my next video. Have a good one.